Tough times for MyPillow, aka Mike Lindell, aka the MyPillow guy. The Baron of sleeping correctly is unhinged, and after rage quitting his advertising buys on Fox News because they wouldn't run a specific ad he wanted them to add, he is back at their door banging loudly, "Please, please, please take my money, and please, please, please run my ads." Here's what Insider writes. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell approached Fox just weeks after cutting ties in an attempt to mend the advertising relationship and promote his new social media network, Frank Speech, which he just calls Frank. It's amazing. He has since pitched at least 4 commercials to Fox, all of which have been rejected. At the end of this video, we're gonna show you exactly who is taking his, or at least like agreeing to have him come on the network. And we'll talk about how much they have paid in settlement money for defrauding people. But in the meantime, here is what Mike Lindell has said and told insiders: he says, Fox is only turning down ads that have the Frank Speech in the title. They said I couldn't mention the words Frank or Frank Speech. It was the fastest reply we've gotten. But if I removed the words Frank Speech, it might have been cleared. But it would have been just a MyPillow ad, which I said I'm not doing. Outrageous. He wants people. We here at Damage Report will show you what's going on Frank's Speech. FrankSpeech.com. You don't have to put in a valid telephone number or email. Just know that they make you give them an email address or telephone number. You can put in whatever you want. So you can get, I checked in at 8:23 a.m. Pacific. Here's what was going on. It's not even original programming. They're just rebroadcasting Real America's Voice. And I believe that's Boris Epstein along with Steve Bannon, each looking equally disinterested in what is happening and probably disappointed that they're on FrankSpeech.com. Jordan, what do you make of this?
Okay, so the premise itself, right? What he appears to be trying to do with Frank Speech is replicating the early days of Huffington Post for a video podcasting streaming era. I get the model. I also then went to Frank Speech during this like cyber symposium week that he was doing, where he like basically locked people in a room in Wyoming for a couple of days and was like, "Hey, we're proving that the election was rigged," and like then everything fell through and like no, they had no proof. I poked around the site and just went to look to see who was on this site. I recognized like 2 names total. Obviously, Steve Bannon. His stuff is aggregated on there. And then one other like C-list MAGA world person. Other than that, it is like total small fry, like D and F list, like right-wing personalities. Never heard of some of these people. And there's a joke wife and I have been joking about, because one of the guys calls himself Jiggy Jaguar and he's on there. It's the Jiggy Jaguar show. And like, look, ludicrous. No one has heard of Jiggy Jaguar, but he's on Frank Speech. That's the quality of content you're getting on there. Fox, on an advertiser front, has traditionally relied on Mike Lindell to subsidize primetime programming. When we were pushing that campaign at Media Matters to get advertisers to drop Tucker, I mean, we got 200 or so companies to drop his show. It was, for a while, they had 2 full ad blocks that were just MyPillow. That's how bleak it got. But also that was how vital of a role he played in filling that time. So for them to cut off ties shows that they like realize this guy is off the deep end, and B, don't want to promote a competitor. They have Fox Nation. They have a streaming alternative. They want to promote that. So it's like, it goes to show you can't really make any friends in DC. If you want a friend, get a dog. But also like this is the end of that relationship, because he's just a true believer. He's not really part of the grift. He believes it.
Well, I love that. And it kind of proves that for a while, Fox News was FrankSpeech.com. It was a streaming service funded by Mike Lindell. And he's like, I can do it myself. Plus I can talk to people, that stole the election. But we will show you, as promised, he has been accepted on other platforms. Here's who he's on with lately. It is Jim Baker.
We don't allow the enemy to come in. We have to take
That's what you're telling us.
us to do, and that's what you're doing.
Yes,
we're going to take back what was stolen from us.
Absolutely.
America needs to take back.
Well, they stole our country.
Yeah, we got to take it back.
We're taking it back.
Amen.
And they stole it at lower levels, micro levels, and macro levels. They stole it at all places.
Our time's going away.
Yeah.
So quick.
You know what I believe? I believe if everybody would order a set of pillows, we could do $1 million.
Yes, amen.
Just in pillows.
Amen.
Yeah.
Just in
Believing
this
for a
pillow.
miracle.
Yep.
And that would be a great start.
That's a tough turn from they stole democracy. But if you buy, and we have photos of the pillows, the telethon called "Take Back What the Devil Stole from You." It aired in hour-long installments from September 14th through September 16th. They are selling these pillows, which are Bible MyPillows. And just to give you an idea of how much it costs, a 5-pack of children's Bible story pillowcases and Go Anywhere pillows is not $100 price. It is, you get them free with a $100 donation. So good. And just
Jim Baker, like for people unfamiliar, is a long time swindler. Like there isn't a con that he hasn't like found his way into. I mean, I think he went to prison at one point, like for like a timeshare scam. Like Jim Baker has a long multi-decade long history of like cons and scams and swindles, and it's like it's always steeped in a religious veneer, which is just so intriguing to me, because it's just like even in these self-professed like Christian circles, he's still like, it was a couple years ago, it was doomsday buckets, obviously at the timeshare scam, and now it's Bible pillows. Like this guy loves money and he loves scamming viewers.
Yep. To fill in that blank, Jim Baker made a name for himself as a televangelist in the 80s, according to Insider. In 1989, he was convicted of 24 counts of fraud and conspiracy for defrauding his followers out of $158 million. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison and fined $500,000, but was paroled in 1994 after 5 years in jail. You would assume they'd say do not televangelize anymore, but apparently he can be back at it as soon as 2021.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.